Prophet TPing in and things and trying to like open up the map, but they couldn't ever really finish off that tower. And then the Brood came over mid to defend it, and all of a sudden that mid tier 1 just isn't dying anymore. Right? It became really difficult for them to find their openings. I think it's difficult to say one thing that they should change, right? But I think just keep it up basically, but don't. It's really difficult.
Just keep it up, gang. Good luck. Try your best.
Yeah, that's the thing about RNG, or sorry, Aster, is that they've really taken it to the next level, right? This Brood was having a tough time, Doom was having a tough time, but you know what they did? They had Monet bottom with the Luna pressuring the tier 1 tower non-stop. She wasn't this Luna wasn't in the jungle. It was just like pushing bottom and forcing people down there, enabling the teammates. And when you have a team like that, it's going to be really hard regardless of what heroes that you end up picking.
Oh, I do like this opening though. It's simple, it's basic, it's just exactly what it says on the tin, but at the same time, it works.
Yep.
I think against Wyvern in particular as well, right? The Invoker has so much value, so it's really strong. It's just, obviously the Holy Locket keeps people still. Cataclysm, you don't even need to Chrono them anymore. It's great.
Holy Locket
Free
keeps
Meteor.
people still.
No, sorry, the Cold Embrace.
Of course, a good host would have said, I think you mean, but I like being mean to you, so.
The axe pick. I'm a pretty big fan of this one. This axe combo that not as many teams do it, but you can stack the Ancients like 5 times, and then axe can just farm it instantly with Vanguard and 1 Cold Embrace. And you get like 1,000 gold. You do. Like, okay. I think at 5 stacks, it's like kind of hard. You're going to lose a lot of your HP, but the Cold Embrace, you like stay topped off. They can't contest you either, right? And you can do it instantly. So it's a pretty sick.
Very interesting,
combo.
Yeah, but makes sense.
I think this hero first phase as well, obviously you have the ability to flex it between 1 and 3. It's always really nice.
5 seconds remaining.
It feels really good. BKB piercing disable, insane. Farms really fast, insane.
Also, it's good to keep a social hierarchy in your draft as well. Wyvern, bit of a beta. Axe, definitely the alpha, so you're already establishing that, which is important.
Why is Wyvern a beta?
What does he heal people? He doesn't even attack people himself. He gets other people to attack him for him. Signature beta move.
You not seen Arctic Burn?
Yeah, have you not seen Arctic Burn? Literally the best skill in the game in Dota 2.
The best skill in the game.
Yeah, like if you played ability draft, the skill that you would take first above everything is Arctic Burn.
I do play ability draft and I do take Arctic Burn, so I guess
especially on melee heroes.
I got you there, didn't I?
Yeah, damn it. Gotta rethink this.
So obviously they flex the Void now, right? So you're expecting. Oh my god. Okay. It's a pretty good Timber pick. I think this hero's been banned out a lot today. So
you know what, Mo?
Right?
I'm gonna have to kindly disagree.
Really?
With that, yeah, I hate Timbersaw against Axe. I think Axe destroys Timbersaw, and people need to stop picking Timber against Axe because the pure damage from Axe, like Timber can't do anything about it. Plus, they never really interact with one another. Axe plays in the offlane, Timber plays in the offlane, right? So in the laning stage, you're not doing anything. You're not going into Axe's lane either. He's just gonna jungle after Vanguard to get to his dagger, and he's just gonna run around and kill people. So, like, you have a small window in the mid game where you can do something to him potentially. But what happens is really good Axe players end up just skipping Blink. They go for the Manta, then they go for the Blink and the Shard later. They just play like a position 1. And then once you hit that 20-minute timing, Timbersaw doesn't stand a chance. He just dies to the pure damage in 1 call.
Yeah, I agree with that. But the Axe can definitely kill the Timber as well, right? But the Timber's still very good at getting through the Axe.
Assuming the Axe decides to fight during the small window that they have. That's what I was like talking about, because like the Timber has to have a good game no matter what. And Timber, if he's against a safe lane Axe, just gets crushed. I'm sure you saw the major where you saw Ice Timbersaw against LGD, and just he was like bottom of the core net worth and just got destroyed by the Axe.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone gets destroyed by Axe right now. The hero is very annoying. Blink, Cool, Manta, Blender mode activated.
I don't.
You become a
personally,
fine hummus.
I still don't think it's awful though, in the sense that they have like this like mixed damage against the Wyvern as well, right? If they can pick the right 4, I get what you're saying, and I think I completely agree. But I'm not like completely against the Timber either.
I mean, they also
there's your
picked.
pick.
Listen, that's perfect. And this Lina could be mid, it could be 4. I love the 4 Lina here with the axe. Now you got Battle Hunger, and then you just got Lina like pounding into the face's Void. Void won't be able to do anything against that. They pick Ench, but Lina's actually one of the better heroes against Ench as well. Like, going back to your previous point, like, you don't think it's bad. Yeah, I mean, you can pick any hero in Dota, but they just picked 3 cores in the first 3 picks. How many times have you seen?
I mean, that's kind of on brand for RNG in this series. So, you know, last game they didn't, they barely used any reserve time. You know, they used 15 seconds of reserve time.
Oh.
This game, they first pick their 3 cores. These guys have got, you know, that BDE. Aster, unfortunately, are winning the games, which is kind of more important. But, well, game 1 at least. We'll see how game 2 goes. But we seem pretty confident so far as this Doom comes out from Aster once again. Not afraid of picking it up.
These second phase picks from Aster feel so good.
Yeah,
dude, they can do anything. Like, they can go Axe carry, they can go Doom mid, they could be Doom offlane, they could be Axe offlane, it could be Lina mid, it could be Lina 4. They could be Wyvern, sure.
Please.
That's a very underrated hero mid too, Wyvern. I know everybody saw 9 play it in the European qualifiers, and some people started to pick up on it, but that hero's insane. I feel like next patch Wyvern is definitely going to be, at least Arctic Burn is going to get dumpstered a bit.
Do you think Holy Locket, Cold Embrace is going to get put in the bin?
Or like maybe Holy Locket or something. It's hard to nerf Holy Locket without destroying the item altogether. I mean, remember how bad that item was? For how long? So I don't want to do that.
Holy Locket right now. I think you just need to take away his
my goodness.
And Hoodwink will be the final picker from Aster, and that's going to mean the Lina's probably mid, the Doom's offlane, and the Axe carry, I would guess.
All right. I mean, Hoodwink and Lina, literally the same exact thing, right? In terms of the lane presence with the Axe. So, and the Lina mid now is their secondary carry. Yeah, like you said, it's going to be the Axe carry.
I know some teams have played Doom Pos 1 recently in some Europe games, but yeah, I think it'll be X1.
And even though we look at this as like, you know, this decent Void game, at first I'm starting to have my doubts. I mean, they've got so much to throw into this Chronosphere. If he gets doomed, he's in trouble. If he gets Winter's Curse inside Chrono, he's in trouble. If he gets you know, like,
hold on,
it's the flex, right?
Support Void time. We've been seeing this, the 5 Void.
Yeah, this is something which it's not new, guys, but it is interesting, isn't it?
Yep, the 5 Void. Let's go.
I like how slow Red Panda was to pick it there. I mean, Red Panda was one of the first people to start doing this, so it shouldn't come as any surprise that RNG are picking up this Faceless Void as
God
the
King,
support.
God King definitely feels like a 0-1-4 gyro player.
He's probably going to go like
with the stats,
4-0-0 stats or something. No, in God King, he's always finds a way to just push it a little bit further. Sometimes too far, you know. He's a lunatic, God King. Sometimes that works in your favor. More recently, it's been a bit of a coin flip, but I love watching the play. He's one of my favorite players to watch. Guys, what do we think about this draft? Where is it going? Who's going to win?
I choose Axe.
I'm going to go, and I'll go annoying because we had the Timbersaw thing before, so I'll just pretend I'm all in on the Timber now instead. It's fine.
Cool, I like it. I like a bit of clashing, a bit of locking horns from our 2 analysts. I will have to go Aster as much as I like the RNG draft. I think it's really cool what they did, the swapperoo and everything, but Aster, I mean, it just looks very stable from them, this Axe carry. You can't doubt it. And with that, we will throw it over to our commentary duo for this game. It's RNG versus Aster, brought to you by Bkyop and Mo Farah. Take it away, boys.
Thank you very much. Coming into this game number 2 between Aster and RNG. Now, Red Panda's been playing that 5 Void. We'll see how it does. And, you know, you've got the typical D-Stones Invoker, which is how he made his name. At least when he broke into the pro scene, that's how it made his name. And then everybody was like, I can't believe, are you guys watching this D-Stones Invoker? I feel like it was tweeted a lot about, like, D-Stones Invoker. I'm trying to remember who made the tweet, who was like, you guys gotta watch this guy. But I ever since, I feel like D-Stones has kind of had this, like, hero puddle going on. He plays, like, Puck, he plays Invoker, and that's pretty much it when it comes to pro games recently. But I do really love seeing this Void 5. I think Red Panda has a fun time. It's not the brew, which is great. Gets them to flex this draft. So I'm interested to see how this game goes and how we get down to it. I'm probably going to guess Aster as well.
Okay, so my big thing that I like about this last pick, Gyro, we didn't really get much of a chance to talk about it on the panel. But RNG is that you want a hero that, I think the Gyro build will be Ag Satanic, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's most likely. So even if it gets doomed, it's still going to be able to output a decent amount of damage, be able to try and keep itself alive. And you have Alacrity on the Invoker as well, to be able to, like, pump up the Gyro's damage in fights, which is going to be very important. So looking forward to seeing what RNG can do with this. I know I went for RNG on the panel just for a meme, but I do think Aster's lineup looks really strong here. I think the leader in particular is going to be incredibly difficult to deal with.
Yeah, and then I'm interested to see Borax's input with this Hoodwink, because it feels like the Hoodwink in the few games we've seen it so far already has felt very lackluster. And if I were to put my top 3 Hoodwink players in the Chinese region right now, it's FY, Jinkyu, and Borax. So I want to see if he shows us something a little bit different with this hero, potentially, and then what Lanham can get done with this Winter Wyvern, because that's a hero he's been spamming a lot in the pro games. We'll see what Aster can get done with this lineup and how RNG are going to react.
It's the best Holy Locket hero, dude. And Lanham loving his Holy Locket heroes, so it's difficult to go against him.
Yeah, Lanham loves his Holy Locket heroes, and then there was that point where he was buying Falcon Blade on every hero.
Yeah, on the Nyx and the... I remember that. Ooh,
first blood coming out from Flyby onto Lanham, so early on he's getting killed off. An early opportunity with the low levels.
Yeah, but this is what I was saying. If you pick the right 4 with the Timber, like, you want to enable the Timber's lane relatively early on with your high damage output. But then at some point in the game, you can leave the Timber by himself, right, and just let the Ench roam over to mid.
Monet's already taking a lot of damage. He might just die himself. Spins are coming in. I don't know if you really are going to get anything done with those spins, and this might even be another.
Adam's in trouble.
Arctic Burn to try and get the slow. And Felix is just outputting a boatload of damage. Tries to get the impetus shots, but eventually he'll fall.
That was really well played by Lanham. He really baited him in there.
Got him into the creeps, uses that Arctic Burn. Now he's got the Spooner Blast. But this is a very active lane thus far.
I mean, we should say though that now the waves are pushing in towards the Radiant side as well, which is obviously really favoured for them.
Ooh. So level 2 going Berserker's Call.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the axes we see take Battle Hunger at level 1, but I think this build's really good in certain matchups where you go like, because you want the 2 points in spin by level 3, but you also want the call. So, especially to threaten the Timber.
Bottom lane, we're taking a look as XXS and Borax are here against the Red Panda Void, who has got 1 level in Time Dilation, 1 level in Time Walk. And we'll see what this 5 Void accomplishes. Feels like the synergies are certainly there. If all you're trying to do is land a good chrono and then have everybody else kind of pile in. Invoker with a Cataclysm, Call Down coming in from the Gyro with right clicks outside the chrono. Like, the opportunity is certainly there for RNG to lay down the hurt with a good chrono.
Hey, laning stages go really well for Radiant side.
Yeah.
In particular, I'm surprised how well this mid lane's going for the Invoker. I know Invoker's probably one of the better heroes against Luna, but because you have the natural regen from Quast, right, to be able to keep up with the harass from Luna. And you have good damage as well. And yeah, this is the freeing up the Ench to roam around.
Ooh, Sunstrike. It's on, and Felix will get the credit on the kill over on White Album. This is looking really good from RNG.
I think when you play against this Ench as well, and you know it's going to be 4, it's really important you have control of this top jungle vision, so you know where the Ench is at all times, right? Especially around this mid lane. You know, this Lina hero is very good, but when she gets hit by the Purge, all her fiery soul stacks come off straight away. So she has no mobility at all.
It's a good job there by the Enchanters coming over, but also the Sunstrike landing from D-Stones on this Invoker. There was a few times in the DPC where D-Stones did play that Invoker. I think he tried to branch out a little bit more, but it just didn't feel like he was inputting as much. And obviously from then to now, the way the drafts have been with an Invoker have kind of evolved. And really the patch has evolved, as it always does. But it'll be interesting to see what D-Stones provides come later in this game, because it felt like, at least during the DPC, Invokers would have like maybe a decent time early, but fall off really hard.
It's really interesting that they've basically left this Timber and Axe 1v1 top, right? And then at the same time, it's basically the Ench versus Wyvern about who can get the most done on the map. I feel like this Timber's having way too much of a good time though, for this lane. There's no way this Timber should be 800, 750 net worth ahead of the Axe, but with the waves pushing in the way that they did early on, Radiant have just been in complete control of this wave ever since. Top
lane, Monet. Oof. Just eating that whirling death. Not fun, as Felix is gonna try and come around the back here. They've got that enchant that'll slow him down, and Wildwing Ripper ripping away with that tornado, and eventually Monet will fall to the two of them. So Flyby and Felix just really opening up a lane for themselves. I'm not sure what Monet strives to do. This is normally a point where I would say, what, you see a Vanguard on an Axe already.
I mean, we said a second ago they were 700 net worth apart. All of a sudden it's 1.2k, you know, which is terrifying. They have the catapult wave top as well, so they'll start opening up the tower potentially. Yeah, this is gone.
Good start for RNG.
And what's really good about this is as well, it transitions for the gyro to naturally come and play top towards where the ancients are and things, right? So like he pushes in the top lane, controls top, farms the ancients as well at the same time. Timber can roam towards mid or start to play bot.
The thing that's interesting too right now is how much Felix is kind of getting from this. He's going treads. Like Felix, I think is ready to be putting in the Enchantress hurt.
Yeah, I think the raw strength from treads as well. When you're like, because you get the efficiency from your ult from untouchable as well, right? Feels really good.
Felix coming around again. Monet is in trouble. Winter Wyvern coming through, but they've got the Sunstrike. And that is another kill. Flyby, he might die for this though, and while that's happening, Red Panda is also dead.
It looked like he's tried to come and invade and get XP from stacks, but it's not to be. What? Can we check what build the Invoker's going, Mr. Observer, please? Because I feel like the Invoker's such a big, like... Normally some people go like bots Midas, right? On the Invoker, but... I think some people... I know... I play... Storm's my mid laner, right? For the team that I manage. And he's a really big Invoker player as well. And like, he likes to go drums sometimes, which I think he's really cool on Exalt Invoker.
Ooh, actually missed that time dilation.
Oh,
White Album gets enchanted. Felix might be in a little bit too far. And White Album forced to Laguna Blade a Centaur as he was getting beat up pretty hard. Red Panda's pretty low, and Cold Snap was used on Borax.
Yeah, but he did get it.
He did.
He did get the creep.
By the way, the Invoker is going Midas first after 2-0 Talismans.
Okay, so he's probably going to go Midas bots.
Sunstrike, Cold Snap, and the damage is there. And D-Stone's having a good performance on this Invoker thus far. And I could give you the quick stat that I had written to you. I tried to give it to you in the draft, but it's D-Stone's Pubs. His first hero is Invoker with 2,279 games. And then his second hero is Quap at 659. So this guy plays a lot of Invoker.
Invoker players are... I mean, it's just one of those heroes that's so fun to watch, right? Because it has such a high skill cap on that hero.
It's like watching Meepo players. Right?
Yeah, kind of. Apart from the Invoker's picked, so...
True.
Yeah.
I would like to see Meepos kind of make their way back. I'm a big fan of Meepo. I like watching pros kind of rip it up with Meepo, you know what I mean? Get those nets out there, jump on some heroes.
I mean,
get the kill.
I'm hoping that hero gets buffed, even though I hate playing against it in the patch, because even if it's just a tiny bit, so it's viable, right? You don't want it to be really strong, but you want it to be a potential like niche pick that teams have to think about.
I don't know. Next patch, I'm hoping for a Tinker Meepo Ancient
Brood
Apparition. Laguna Blade, XXS coming in. God King getting killed off by White Album. Good rotation.
Yeah, this is what I was saying before, though. I'm surprised Gokking stayed bot for so long, because I feel like this was inevitably going to happen, right? Where they move bot because they can't play top against the Timber. So I feel like Gokking probably should have been playing top for the last minute or so, maybe.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Like, this tower's going to go down eventually, right, anyway. Just go and maximize your farm for the Ags.
Right.
He's trying to stay... I mean, it's a really difficult window to hit, right? You want to stay in that lane for as long as you can before they come. And like, if you can hit this timing where you leave just as they're turning up at the same time, then it feels amazing.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Time dilation. Monet coming over, trying to grab Red Panda, but he'll time walk away. Battle Hunger with the Splinter Blast and an Arctic Burn. A couple of right clicks. Does not feel good, but they don't get the kill. Laguna Blade back up. Lena 15 gold away from finishing off the Yules. And Monet trying to recover. He's still sitting here behind God King and third on the core list for the Dire side. Meanwhile, Enchantress just has a boatload of farm. And going into a Dragon Lance. This feels great for Felix.
I think against a lot of the single target damage from like the Dire side though, with like Doom and Laguna and things, it is nice to have more, or like have a support that can turn into a core as well for like more damage sources.
Mm. 1,200 gold away for God King on that Ags. And then of course you're seeing Monet go into the Manta.
Oh, Chrono?
Chrono, Sunstrike, and Impetus shots, but there's the Winter's Curse. That might catch Red Panda and get the kill, and it will. The tornado came in, but it wasn't going to be enough. They've also got Flyby coming around the back. I don't know if they're going to be suspecting of this, as they've got the Chakram right on top. The meatball comes down, but it's not going to do anything to the side of Aster. They got that one kill onto the Faceless Void. They'll back away and take what they've been given as Monet continues to farm up towards top for free. White Album, though, slowed by the enchant. Over the LSA, the Laguna Blade and the Dragon Slave, but the Sun strikes in. D-Stones with a kill on White Album, taking away his spree after he kills off Felix right in front of his eyes.
Oh, what a value regen from the Invokers, right? He gets a Sunstrike and a Cold Snap off to kill the Lena and still has regen going afterwards. So that feels great. They get the mid-tier one, opens up the ancient area. You can see them pinging it on the mini-map as well straight away. Red Panda's been trying to invade this area for ages and hasn't been able to do it. So fact he's been able to finally get in there after taking the mid tier 1. He's like, thank God, guys.
Monet now has the Yasha. Bottom lane, XXS getting chased a little bit. No chrono for 80 seconds, so... I mean, at that point, when you don't have chrono for the Void as the 5, all you're really there to do is kind of time walk in and use time dilation, right?
Yeah, kind of. You also just want to be there to, like, tank spells and have as much effective HP as possible with the time walk. So, like, you're trying to get as low as you possibly can before you jump away to, you know, force them to use spells on you.
Right. God King in trouble. There's the blink, there's the stun, and they don't even need to use that Doom. They'll use the Laguna Blade to get the kill. And time dilation comes in. That'll land onto all 3. And Sharpshooter to get some distance. They've got the Cold Snap, tree down, Sunstrike, not going to land. It's actually not timed up right, and he gets onto the high ground, but they've got the Deafening Blast. D-Stones will get the kill on a Borax, and now they come in with the Yules. That's out on a D-Stones for a second. XXS maybe thinking about blinking in and using that Doom. But there's the blink away as the time dilation is a whiff from Red Panda, who has chrono in 17. But Aster will back away under the tier 2 tower, and they'll be okay.
Hey, think about the laning stage that the Axe and the Gyro both had, right? And look at their net worths now. They're like basically neck and neck.
Spins, the stun, and the damage on a Red Panda. There's the Culling Blade from Monet. It's a catch. Getting closer and closer to that Manta. Bottom lane, Lanham getting chased, trying to TP out, and right in the face of Flyby, who can't stop that.
He almost has this Holy Locket on the Wyvern as well. Oh, this is a big kill if they get
and Chaos Meteor coming through. They've got the Deafening Blast, the call, Monet! Ooh, he'll elude the Sunstrike. Felix coming up onto the high ground. That may be a mistake. They've got the Sharpshooter. Can he turn? Can he turn? Can he turn? No, he can't. So Felix, ooh.
Yeah, that's fine. I think just get a kill.
Even with the Doom?
Get him!
Even using the Doom?
Yeah, I think it's fine. I mean, he would have TP'd away otherwise because the attack speed stops the Infernal Blade from coming through.
Yeah, but was War Stomp on cooldown?
Yeah, I think it was. I think he just used it before.
I guess that's kind of worth it. I don't know. I think using that Doom would have been nice on something else, right?
Yeah. Back to the point originally, though, like, yeah, this Axe and Doom, let's say the Axe and the Gyro are basically neck and neck in net worth, right? Like, after watching the laning stage, if you just said they'd have been the same net worth at 15 minutes, I don't think anybody would have believed you.
Maybe one person.
Nah, they were lying. They'd be lying. They'd be trying to, you know, be that hipster. It's like, no, I don't agree.
I agree with B-Cop. He totally knows what he's talking about. That's that guy, you know? Ag's just about finished here for the Invoker. Meanwhile, Monet still working on this Manta.
Yeah, you have to assume he's going to be going SMY afterwards as well. The status was just really good against the Doom and the Axe call.
Strike off the mark. Axe picked up. Now he's got Cataclysm available, and they do have Chrono available as well. So
I think
there's the smoke.
They smoked on Radiant. Yeah, they smoked under a ward, though, I'm pretty sure. Maybe they didn't. There was one there before, maybe they de-warded it. I mean, Aster know they're just holding their high ground.
Winter's Curse gets used. That'll give them some control. White Album coming in with a 2-man stun, the Laguna Blade, and they've got the follow-up coming through from XXS with a War Stomp. Tornado comes in, but that's not going to land. Neither does the Sharpshooter on the Felix. The damage being done to XXS. They might be able to get the kill on the Doom. He's trying to heal up with the Cold Embrace, but they've got themselves the Whirling Death that will get the kill. Flyby. They'll trade 1 for 1. And Borax will TP away in front of the eyes of Felix. So not exactly the best of trades. for the side of Aster, but a trade
Dire's middle
nonetheless.
tower is under attack.
Going blink next on Axe.
Yeah, I mean, the Axe is obviously far behind where he wants to be, right? But he's doing okay in the game. When he gets to the, the blink and the shard and things, he can still do a lot of damage with the pure damage from spin.
Roche being taken. They don't have Winter's Curse right now.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
See if they can even get in on this. Monet is technically nearby, but... Uh-oh. I don't think he's gonna get there. And yeah, Aegis now in the hands of RNG. This is massive for them. 5 minutes without Aegis could potentially mean a lot.
I don't think they were ever going to fight in the pit without Curse. I think that would be pretty crazy. And yeah, SY almost finished on the gyro. Oh, okay. You get a courier. Nice. Ooh.
EP's out.
Never in doubt. So they're going to smoke up themselves. They have the Curse back up again now. Oh, God King's just by himself up in this top area of the map without ward vision. Oh, he's got the Aegis as well.
Yeah, this could be bad. They know exactly where he is. Oh, stun. How much are they going to use to get this first life? It's going to be dependent on how quickly they can
They're
get
all heading
this.
up though.
And now they're starting to come over. Flyby here to defend with the rest of the team. They'll get that first life out of his hands and lose a courier for Lanham.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Chakram thrown into the trees. Borax trying to scurry himself out.
And this isn't too bad for RNG. They should be able to naturally transition to this top tier 2 here.
Dire's
Which is okay, like having so many heroes nearby, but...
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structure.
That just doesn't feel great.
Not the ideal usage of the Aegis, really, though, is it?
No.
Because in this whole time, Monet's just been able to farm and try and catch up as well.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh, Borax being spotted and...
Dire's top
Tornado
tower
comes
has
up
fallen.
short.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Still just a 4K lead at the moment. Is that enough for RNG to feel comfortable running away with this one?
I don't think so.
Radiant's bottom tower
I
is
think
under
when the
attack.
Axe gets farm, we've all seen how much this hero can do. And I still think the leader especially looks terrifying when it gets to, like, Daedalus. Daedalus BKB, basically.
Dire's top
Link
tower
Dagger now
is
for the
under attack.
axe. Will be Shard next.
Dire's
And right now,
middle tower
Flyby is just
under
kind of
attack.
leading the charge on this tier 2.
Now, RNG's still big favourites, but
Dire's middle
I think
tower
considering how the
is
start of the game went, I expected it to be worse right now for Aster.
Yeah.
So, they've done well to stem the bleeding almost, really.
Smoke used by Aster. See what they can get in this situation. Monet would love to have that shard as they're going to be top again, finding God King. Oh no, LSA Laguna Blade coming through and God King. Maybe it's not just the back end of a name.
Oh, I've just realised what you meant by that. Man, poor guy. When B-Cop's having a dig, you know it's a bad day.
Whoa, I was having a dig. It was just a line.
Yeah, it does feel like it's happened like one too many times though, right? Where he's just kind of on his own on the map somewhere, getting picked off.
Yeah, away from his team. Not even like just a little bit, but completely. In a spot where they just can't get to him.
All right, sorry, production of flaming me for flaming B-Cop. So sorry, production.
Oh, thank God.
I didn't mean to hurt him. I did actually. I'm not going to say sorry at all.
Yeah. We've this is our 5th season. We know what to expect.
You know what you signed up for. I wonder if the Void should go Shard now. I don't know if he... I didn't see if he had it or not. But... It's so good.
First time walk.
Because you basically just jump in, get vision, and go back out again, right?
You start singing that song in your head if you get that. Oh,
what a tornado.
What a tornado. BKB comes out from XXS. He's going to move over and look over at Flyby, who's got the Lotus Sword, but now they've got the Cataclysm coming down with the Meteor, but it's not enough damage with the Cold Embrace. They've got themselves the Winter's Curse. They look over at D-Stones. The damage coming through will be enough to get the kill into the Invoker. They look over as they've got the 2-man on the Flyby. Timbersaw on the run, trying to get out. Red Panda dead. He's going to be the second one gone on the side of RNG. And finally, Flyby, well, his wings have been cut, and he will fly no more. Culling Blade on a Felix. 4 euros down on the side of RNG. Put that together with the fact that they killed God King earlier, and this game is back to even.
Production guys, you can't do this. They're like the whole team from Radiant, apart from God King's down in the bot having a fight, and then the production just goes this view on the gyrocopter. God. But I mean, you saw that's the axe shard though, right?
Right.
I mean, he picks it up and they instantly, like, has to understand their timing, right? And how strong they are when he gets that shard. Instantly take a fight. He finds this amazing 2-person call with the Manta, as well on the Invoker and the Ench, and just blows up the Invoker straight away. It looks so good because of the Cataclysm, but they get their BKBs off on the dire side. And, like, the heal from the Wyvern just keeps the Doom alive.
He went from
the Cataclysms.
He went from like 5% to full.
Yeah?
It was kind of nuts.
I think he popped his own wand and got wanded by the Lanham Locket at the same time as well.
Yeah, the Cold Embrace with the locket and everything was just nuts. And all of a
What
sudden,
an insane
Aster have
fight.
control. And this is tough for RNG. And that's with a farmed Enchantress, who's got a Hurricane Pike, who's outputting a bit of damage, but it's just not enough. And is it... I'm not going to say it just yet, but is it a little bit of what I was alluding to earlier, where it feels like sometimes Invoker just kind of falls off a cliff?
Nah, it's just they took one bad fight. Like, unfortunately, they just got 2-person called because they're holding a high ground that Aster have vision over. Right, like they try and push into the high ground. And it's the best place that Aster can fight. Is an area that they, you know, are all standing and are ready to go. It felt the same last game as well. Like Aster feel like they're in control of how the fights are going to be dictated.
White Album, MKB almost finished.
But don't worry, because it's the second Roche fight next, and that's the game decider every game.
At least
So
it's not the 5th Roche that's the decider.
The first 25 minutes don't matter, because the second Roche just means so much in the game.
It just gives too much. I think that's got to be a big patch, like how much Roche gives up, or make Roche harder to kill, or both.
Oh, she has the DD, has the Demon Age as well, which I'm assuming is being upgraded to...
MKB.
Is she going MKB? Yeah. Or is it Daedalus? I don't know, but I assume it was MKB. Because the magic damage is really good against the Timber as well.
And there's Roche.
And they have the Forge Spirit in the pit, so the Radiant know that the Roche is up. They got to go in straight away.
They kind of have to. They're going to try and get this. It's going down pretty quickly,
damage,
but I don't know if they've rotated over in time for Aster, and they haven't. So now you've got Shard, you've got Aegis, you've got Cheese. It gives you a 3k lead. Like, this is second Roche, and it's giving so much. It's interesting. Shard's going to be picked up by the Invoker as well. Yeah.
Yeah, the Invoker Shard is the Meteor, right? With the 3 Meteors, so that feels
Yeah,
pretty
because
good.
Timber's got Shard as, on himself as well.
Phoenix just tanking the smoke. They're holding their vision here on the left-hand side. You see Aster, that's the difference. See, Aster don't want to run up into that area. Like, they understand that RNG they would be in complete control of that fight.
They've got vision of God King though.
I think you give the quiver to the Ench, right? And then you take the tunic on Gyro, maybe? Oh, they're pushing up into Aster's vision.
Yeah, the vision's there, and you can see Lanham. He's looking for the right opportunity to get a Winter's Curse out. And instead, now they're going to be looking. They've got the sharpshooter coming in. The BKB's going to be popped. Looking for the chrono, maybe. It's just a time dilation for now. Cataclysm coming down. They'll get the kill on Lanham. He doesn't have buyback. He's dead for 45 seconds without it. God King now without his BKB. So how willing are they to push into this? The double damage gets popped on White Album. D-Stone's coming over, and he should spot White Album all by his lonesome self. As top lane, Monet coming through. They've got themselves the call. Flyby in a little bit of trouble, but he'll eat the cheese. He'll be okay with BKB being popped by Monet. He'll have that on cooldown for another 65 seconds. They go up onto the high ground. They go for the tier 3, and it looks like it'll be at least the tier 3. Do they stay for the racks? 15 seconds until they get the Winter Wyvern back into the fight. These BKBs are still on cooldown for 35 more seconds, at least on this Gyro. Double damage gonna last for just a couple seconds longer, and they are gonna concede the racks without the Wyvern.
And this is what I was saying earlier with the Alacrity Gyro, right? It's a completely different hero. It's like all these like range heroes, like the the Luna and the Gyro, even like TB is technically a range hero really with meta. As soon as they get Alacrity, their power spike is just ridiculous.
Ooh, Monet this time, he's like God King all by himself. The rest of the team now needs to react to this.
No BKB.
No BKB for 20 seconds. They're going to TP back over to the shrine. It's going to be Felix coming in, but he's able to blink away off this. The tornado doesn't land. He's been enchanted. The cold snap's there. The whole team's starting to pounce. They've got the meteor down. Monet in trouble, and he'll end up dead. The team never reacting to how far out he was. Aster's still in their base. They let him die.
He has no buyback
it wasn't
either.
just that they let him die. It's that Monet got himself into a position where, now he has no buyback and he was out by himself.
A fair play to RNG though, they take the top racks and they instantly sweep across the map to the bottom jungle.
This could be another
really
set.
well played by them as well. Yeah, it could.
He's short 400 gold on buyback.
I just want to say that was a really nice play by the Axe. I know he doesn't live, but he had a much better chance of living there than I originally thought he was going to.
Tier 3 is going to drop. God King still working with an Aegis. Acorn shot bouncing around, not really doing a lot, but they've got the Alacrity on God King now. Lanham looking for something that he can do to try and stop this pressure from coming in, but they've got the Satanic. The LSA hits on a flyby. Now they've lost 2 sets of racks. All of a sudden, it's an 8k lead for RNG from a 4k lead from Aster. Although, is that enough to shut it all down?
Regeneration! A wyvern's breath.
Wow. Yeah, look at the win probability. Jeez.
94%. Although, without an Aegis, I don't know if RNG are as confident at the moment, even up this much. But they do have the whole combo available to them.
You have to think about how many fights it would take for Aster to win the game now, right? And
I guess there's still tier 1s mid and top.
Yeah. Tower is under attack.
Ceremonial Robe's pretty good for the Dire side.
BKB next for the Lina.
Good with Call.
Bottom tower has fallen.
They're just
coming in bottom.
Anyway.
They're going to try and finish it up. Lotus Orb on the Battle Hunger. Splinter Blast gets bounced back. They're looking to get the tier 3. Sharpshooter comes in. That's going to break up the Enchantress. They've got the Nature's Attendants, and they'll take the tier 3. They're looking for the Mega Creeps. Flyby standing his ground, and BKB gets popped early and in time. Monet looking for the blink as well as the call. He'll get it onto this Timber. Now they've got themselves the Chrono Cataclysm all down to take out XXS. The Meteors are in. Lanham's dead, and he'll buy back. But Monet, he'll fall 2. 3 years dead on the side of Aster. They'll buy back on 1, but will they buy back on the Axe? They'll call GG instead. They won't even fight it, and RNG will even the series up at 1.
Yeah, I mean, what a good game though. It was so back and forth at times. Like Radiant have this, RNG have this really good like laning stage, right? All of a sudden, Aster come back into it. Then RNG get a 3-second Roche and the game's over. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, I just a 3-second Roche. And it's just a complete turnaround all of a sudden in that game, because it felt like Aster were pulling away with it. And is it Monet dying that really puts them out? Or is it anything before that felt like Aster dropped the ball? Because it looked like this game might be theirs.
I